All right, so this will be a short practice session of Carcassi's Opus 60 Etude number 4, study number 4. I did record practice sessions for number 1, 2, and 3. I'll try to place things at the bottom if you want to take a look at that. This is not a tutorial, meaning I'm not teaching the song. I'm just recording myself practicing through it. It's not a new song for me. It's not a new piece for me. I've been playing it for a while. But I like to revisit etudes on a regular basis. The main idea of this study is in the right hand, I do use an appuyando on that pull-off note. And in study number 3, the one in A major, I was explaining that I usually don't use an appuyando on all of those notes, maybe just some of them. But in this one, I actually do use an appuyando on every one of those descending slurs or pull-offs, whatever you call them, just because I really want to emphasize that note. And also the very next note following that descending slur, this one, I try not to play it too loud. So that's the basic idea in the right hand. In the left hand, it's the slur motion, sometimes from a pinky, this pull-off motion, sometimes from the third finger. So those are the two main technical things that I think of as I practice this etude. Here's the first section. So this will be an unedited, not going to stop for little mistakes. And then when I'm done, I'll try to play a somewhat clean version of it. Here's the first section, the first few measures. By the way, the score looks like this. And this is freely available online. It's a free PDF. If you just Google Carcassi Opus 60, free PDF, and there's a couple of places at least where you can download this for free. Here's that first section. Again. And I usually like to practice that ascending run starting from here. Crescendo, which escalates all the way to this point. It's the end of the ascension there. So again. Okay. Second section of the same rhythmic pattern, but the harmony changes a little bit. starts on the dominant, and it's in the key of D. So the second section starts in the key of A, somehow, something like this. And before I move on, I like to practice this exchange because of the left hand stretches. So we have I use 1 and 3 there, and then 1 and 2. And my fingers are kind of short for a guitarist, so this is sometimes a struggle for me to reach from the second finger to the pinky with my first finger down here. So I'm trying not to mess it up and not to get a buzz in there, to keep it clean. Also not to get a snap kind of a sound when your pinky snaps and pulls the string too hard. Okay, so that section again. Next, this is the E minor sort of chord. Here's another part I usually practice a few times over. Right here. Because I'm trying to stop the strings as much as possible, as needed. Here in the left, in the right hand that is. This C sharp, I'm using the back of my middle finger to muffle the previous bass note, which is a D. See? So that stopped the D, which is good. But the next note, which is a D, I have to quickly move my thumb back and stop that A from ringing. And sometimes what I do is I play the D, right before I play it, I kind of bend my thumb, if you can see from there, this way, just a little bit, to touch that A string and stop it from ringing. If you have enough time to do that between chords, sometimes that works better than actually moving back and stopping the sound with your thumb this way. So instead of this way, I just kind of sometimes bend my thumb, can you see? This way, and stop the sound with the back of my thumb. So here's that section again. So when I go for the D, I kind of push a little bit harder, and this side of my thumb, the outside of it, the side that you don't play with, I use that to muffle the sound of the previous chord. And then here I have no choice. Right here, when I play this A chord, I either play a rest stroke with my thumb, which would solve that problem of stopping the D, or I just go a rest stroke, or quickly, if you play a rest stroke there, just quickly place your thumb on it and stop the D from ringing, so you don't get that sound. So it's not a good sound. So anyways, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Alright, so that's that. So back up to the beginning with the second section, and we'll try to put that together a little bit. Now again, I'm not learning the song right now, I'm just practicing through the different sections. So the next section that brings us towards the end of the piece, kind of, we have this. That's a nice exchange there. It's a D chord. chords I practice separately. The two Ds, this and this, A7, right? So the challenge here for me is when I pull off the pinky and the high E is played with the middle finger, not to pull off the string so hard that it pulls my middle finger, my second finger, off the fingerboard, getting that kind of a string off the fingerboard sound. So you want a nice clean pull off. But if you do it too hard, that pulls the string off and it pulls the middle finger, which is playing the high E, off as well. So. Again. Okay, next little chunk. Here's what happens there. D, moving to a D7, G, E minor. All right, so maybe a bit sharp, a bit flat, maybe. Okay, let's see. And then we have this business. That's an A chord with a low A. That's, I'm gonna use the A finger there for that first note. Okay, so we have and that's a transition I usually practice from here, sorry, going to this A, so I don't miss it. Again. That's a little bit clumsy there. Well, luckily my third finger is free right before I have to use it, so I use it here for this pull off, but then it's free and I place it on the A. Let me clean that up a little bit. Try that second section, moderate speed, and see what happens. Something like that. All right, so I would spend more time going through the different sections. I'm not going to do that on this video, I don't want to make it too long. But I would spend about 10-15 more minutes going back and selecting different transitions like this I was just doing. And maybe even play it blocked. See? This. to this. And then and make sure you don't let go of this G here too soon. So you don't let go of it. Sorry. And then A. Okay. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to try and do a run through of a somewhat clean run through of everything and see what happens. All right, so that was somewhat good. Lots of mistakes, but it doesn't matter. I'm not recording an album. So those are some ways in which I would practice this Carcassi study number 4, Opus 60. Take a look at the score. Feel free to practice along with me. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to write them at the bottom. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and healthy. See you in the next video.